Hello and welcome to Team Franco Bodybuilding Podcast. My name is Joe, of course, and we are on episode number 64. And today we're going to cover the topic on how and why a short contest prep can benefit you. I apologize, I guess. I haven't done a podcast since the month of March. So basically took the month of April off and no particular reason. I think sometimes we have all these ideas, we put them down, and then just like anything else, you get burnt out. Because I have done over 60 of them, and I would say more than half have great value. So there's only so many topics I can always come up with. Or better yet, a lot of the topics are things that happen in my life, in the bodybuilding career, or in things I notice, or experiences with clients, so on and so forth. So this is something that I'm going to discuss with you guys about short contest prep. But before I dive into it, I just want to thank everyone again for listening, because I do have access to the stats, the number of listens. And even though I didn't do any podcasts of the month of April, the monthly listens are still trending up. So it's pretty darn cool. So if you are a fan of these podcasts, please continue to share them. I even still get people saying it's been an important part of their journey, from all the topics that I've covered. And the one that's getting a lot of attention lately since the OCB and bodybuilding season started is particularly the exit plan, the diet exit plan. And that was one of my most listened to ones, and I did that a while ago. But everything I say on that for part 1 and part 2 is still true. Plan ahead. All right, so to the point of the subject about short contest prep. Now, if you know me, you know my clients, or if you're a client, you might be scratching your head because I always say slow and steady wins the race. Yes, I still stand by that. Typically, if you are a newbie or have a lot of body fat, slow and steady is your best course of action. Only because there's a lot to learn when it comes to competing. From the last couple of months prep of getting your getting your suit if you're a female, to shoes if you're a female competitor, to practicing your posing, to signing up for the show, to scheduling everything. So typically those last couple months can be stressful. So that's why if you plan to compete, 6 months to a year or what even greater is always best, because it's not like diving right into it, whereas you're trying to learn and take in everything. And again, I lose clients. I lose them once a week when they want to compete real quickly, but they hardly have any muscle or experience. And I tell them, you know what, let's focus, have some fun in the gym and work on intensity and your diet and all those things. And that's why more time is typically better for most people. Now, obviously, you're probably asking, well, who are these people where a short diet, short prep would benefit? Just the opposite end of the spectrum. The one who has more experience, the one who has more muscle and have competed a number of times. I have 2 examples. One earlier this year, a men's physique pro client, and I have a male bodybuilding pro client competing soon, where they're similar. And where are they similar? Now, they're obviously 2 different divisions and 2 different builds, but the one thing that's in common with them, and for those who can do shorter preps, is that they don't stray too far away from their previous contest weight. Now, they're not super lean where they're, slowing down strength gains or starving themselves or anything ridiculous like that. I would not have it that way, because my goal is, after anyone competes that gets super lean, is to bring those calories back in, get those energy levels back up in a matter of weeks, so you feel like you're not, on a prep anymore. It's, the slow diet is basically not in anymore, but you want to bring those calories in. So both of these guys, honestly, were probably 10 to 12 pounds away from their previous contest weight. Now, again, it's always a difficult topic. What should I compete at as far as body weight? But these guys, I've been coaching them for many years in a row, so that's the benefits. I know them really, really well. So I know where their happy weight is for their off season. We know the happy weight where they got to be within a couple of pounds, to compete. So why is it beneficial for these guys? Why can they do shorter prep? All what I just stated is that the fact that they don't need to be dragging the diet out 4, 5, 6 months because they're always within striking distance. They can get away with an 2-month to 3-month prep, put their foot on the pedal, push freaking hard, and actually back off at the end and fill out. Why is that beneficial? Well, it's less of a mind fuck, first of all. I mean, that's the one thing, the longer prep, yes, it's better, physically on your body to learn everything. But I'll be honest with you, it can be drawn out. It can get tiring at times. That's why we also do diet breaks, for my clients. But it's just hard. Psychologically, it's like, when am I ever going to get there? Because the excitement initially is so high, but then you come to realization, I need to give myself time to build up my body, to lose the body fat slowly so I can preserve muscle and also actually build muscle because I need more for the stage. But at the same time, postponing that goal is a mind fuck and you can get disappointed. I've seen that a few times. But with people who are within striking distance and simply just don't get fat, they care about themselves all year round, they can just put the foot on the gas, press forward, press hard, and because they have more muscle, it's okay to lose a little bit more muscle tissue to get leaner. I saw it, like I said, I had a men's physique competitor within 12 pounds of his contest weight. We picked out the show, the one that he wanted to do, and we just went for it. I wouldn't say, I guess I crushed him, but he was up for it because even when you have that smaller goal, you will do anything. You'll just grind away knowing that you're going to meet your best. But we always had the caveat, just like when we're a few weeks out, 3-4 weeks out, we're not content, we'll peel off and say, maybe it's not working out. But in this case, the body responded that much quicker. So it was a great experience. Currently, I'm working with a men's masters bodybuilding pro. Natural, of course. Same situation. He's doing a show at end of June. So that's 2 months away. We started bringing in cardio and a reduction maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And his body's responding real quick. So that is one of the reasons why I think a short prep can be good for you. If you're more experienced, you have more muscle, you can achieve a goal because it's short. You can dig it out just for those 2 to 3 months. But what I'm referring to is that if you need to lose 30 pounds, it's not going to happen. You want to be 10 to 15 pounds at most from striking distance because you want to still look good and feel good during the off season. So therefore, it's an easier transition and you just bang it out. I mean, conversely, I've worked with people who are pros, will hire me maybe 3-4 months out before the show, and it's the same situation where I know and I trust what they're doing in the off season. They don't need my help unless they ask for it or they chime in or check in once in a while. It's a good thing because when they come back to me, they're basically on point and it's an easy transition and their body responds. So that is one of the benefits that I alluded to earlier about talking about exit plan. Just don't get too fat. I'm not telling you not to live life, because both of these guys, they enjoyed the holidays. They drink once in a while. But 80%, 85% of the time, their diet was on point because it's important to them and they had the pride and they wanted to be proud for the next time they compete, they can actually look better. And that's what happened with the one client that competed a couple months ago, and that's definitely going to happen with the guy that's competing in a couple of months. So that's why a short prep can be easier on the mind because you get so excited, tunnel focus, and you do it. But if you are a newbie and you're building your body and you need to lose the body fat slowly and more control because you have a little bit extra body weight going into your first show, that is still the way to go. This is just something, for a beginner to possibly strive for. Whereas you do your first show, you're content, you look your best, you belong on stage, but then have that goal that, I want to stay within striking distance, maybe that 8 to 12% above my previous contest weight. So therefore, it's not going to be as grueling or mentally tough on the body the next time I compete. And that's where coaching really comes into play. If you work with someone year round, that extra accountability is going to help you instead of possibly doing a reverse diet with your coach. Everything's going good. You go on your own, and then boom, you gain 20 pounds in 3 months. And then it's basically a terrible cycle that you're in that you want to compete then again the next year. No, you probably need more time to recover and get back on track. So this is just a quick little one to put, to get myself back in the game and why I think short dieting can be real beneficial to those who are more experienced, but also something that you can strive for, after you do your first, second show and you have the muscle where you can definitely accomplish the shorter prep instead of doing something grueling, as long as you don't let yourself get out of control. Again, thank you for listening. If you found this one to be helpful and useful, please share. I appreciate it. I can be found on teamfrancobodybuilding.com, teamfrancobodybuilding.com on Instagram. And if you follow me at all, my one Instagram account has been hacked. So if you see Joe Franco _TFB, that's the real new one. And I'm actually back on Twitter at Team Franco. So any questions, guys, always hit me up. You can email me, fitfranco@verizon.net. I'm here to help, and I plan on doing a couple more because at the end of the month, as some of you know, I'm promoting the first of my 3 shows, and this one's always the biggest one, the OCB Jersey Natural Open. We have over 100 competitors at the Showboat Hotel again this year. Come out, watch it. It's going to be a blast. That's all I'm going to get into with that. So look for me to come out with another podcast sooner than later, and I'll talk to you guys.